Good morning, my friends. I hope you've all had a great week. It's been a good week here, and we continue to make progress. We continue to try to strive to do what Jesus wants us to do and to live that kind of life. And I'm out in west of Houston today and out painting a little and looking around, enjoying this glorious world that God's made for us. But today what I want to talk to you about is all the glorious things here and all the glorious things that we try to take advantage of here. Where are you laying treasures? I've been watching this series on ancient Egypt and on King Tut and learned a lot from it. Found out that there are over 5,000 items that were taken from Tutankhamun's tomb. And a lot of those things are made out of pure gold. The face mask alone was made out of 20 pounds of gold. And the ancient Egyptian pharaohs, they hoarded gold. They tried to get all they could, gold, silver, anything that was of value. They wanted to be the most rich, the most powerful people in the world. And it got me to thinking about what happened to all that treasure now. In the Valley of the Kings in Egypt, there were somewhere around 40 or 50 tombs, and all of those were raided in past years except Tutankhamun's, which they didn't found. And if you imagine what kind of treasure must have been there, all of these items, which are valued at millions of dollars, came out of one of those tombs. That's a lot of treasure in one place. And the Egyptian pharaohs tried to lay up that treasure so that they could take it with them to what they considered the afterlife. Here we are, 3,500 years later. Those ancient pharaohs are dead, they're gone, but that treasure that they tried to lay up and take with them is still here. We tend to do the same things. We go out and we strive day to day and we try to lay up treasures. We try to lay up treasures for our retirement, for example. Or we try to lay up treasures so that we can have a bank account, so that we can have a nicer car, a bigger home. What is all that going to get us eventually? Where are you laying up your treasures? Are you laying up your treasures for here on earth, or are you striving to lay up treasures in heaven? The Bible says that God will give us crowns in heaven based on what we've done here on earth. Now, we can't earn our way into heaven. That is by faith through grace alone. And even though we can get to heaven simply by trusting Jesus, one day we'll be given crowns that we can lay at Jesus' feet. We'll be looking forward to that treasure. We want to have that treasure that we can give to Jesus. The Bible also says that Jesus has gone to build us a mansion. And we will live in that mansion eternally when the New Jerusalem and the new earth are restored and regenerated and resurrected at the end of time. So what is your treasure? We can store up treasures in heaven by doing things like helping others, by doing things like contributing to missions, by doing things like praying for each other, being there for each other. We all go through things that are not what we would want to. And at times we need to have a friend, a fellow Christian, to walk that path with us. That is laying up treasures in heaven. So today I want to ask you, Where are you laying up your treasures? Are you laying up treasures here that at some time will turn back to dust? At some time when you get to heaven, that'll still be here. You won't be able to take it with you. You know, there's an old joke that was told that this man, that the angel of death came to him and said, "Hey, it's time for you to go." And the gentleman asked, he said, "Well, can I take one thing with me?" The angel said, "No, you don't get to take anything with you." He said, "Please," begged him, "let him take one thing." And the angel consented and said, "Okay, you can take one thing with you." So he got to heaven, and Peter asked him, "What's in the suitcase?" And he opened it up, and it was packed with gold bars. And Peter said, "Why are you bringing pavement here?" You know, the streets of heaven are paved with gold. The walls, the gates in heaven are made out of precious jewels. There's nothing that we can store up here that will last and that will go to heaven with us. We need to be laying up our treasures in heaven, not on earth. And I hope this week that you will strive to do that. That you'll strive to lay up your treasures in heaven by helping others, by praying with a friend that's down, by helping that person along the street that doesn't have a coat or doesn't have shoes. Jesus said, if you do this for them, you've done it for me. And that's what we all want. You know, I hope you have a great week this week. Look forward to hearing from you again. But please, whatever you do, make sure that you are ready when the time comes, that you have trusted in Jesus Christ. It's only His grace and His mercy that allows us to spend heaven with Him. I love you. Pray for me. Have a great week.